Hey guys, I'm back with another Minecraft tutorial. Here in this one, I'm going to be showing you how to build this mansion. It has 7 bedrooms and 7.5 bathrooms. There's also a movie theater room and a 5-car garage. And then in the backyard, there's a very large deck, patio space, and a pool. Here's the plot for the build. So if you want just the house itself and none of the landscaping, then you'll be paying attention to the rectangular shape in the middle. So from left to right, you're going to need 56 blocks. From front to back, you'll need 70. And keep in mind, that's also including the deck at the back side, because I feel like that is still part of the house itself. Now, if you want both the house itself and all of the landscaping, then you'll be paying attention to the outer rectangular shape. So from left to right, you'll need 68 blocks. And from front to back, you'll need 104. Now let's look at all the space in between the yellow lines, just to make sure that you do have the plot all marked out correctly. Let's look towards the bottom first. So that's going to be the extra space needed for the landscaping at the front side of the house. So in between those 2 yellow lines, you just want to make sure you're still able to see 7 spaces of grass. Now let's look towards the top. That's going to be the extra space needed for the backyard. So in between those 2 yellow lines, you should be able to still count 25 spaces of grass. Now on the sides, in between the 2 yellow lines again, you want to make sure you're still able to count 5 spaces of grass in between them. Here in part 1, we're going to be sure to mark out all of the exterior walls for the first floor of the house. So I gathered up all the blocks we're going to be using in this video, so make sure you have the grass block, the diorite, stone bricks, andesite, cobblestone, smooth quartz blocks, smooth quartz stairs, and then just some regular quartz stairs, quartz bricks, dark oak planks, dark oak stairs, dark oak sign, dark oak fence, dark oak trapdoor, then the iron trapdoor, chains, lanterns, levers, then some tripwire hooks, any leaves of your choice, and some black stained glass panes. I'm here at the front side. We're going to start with the grass blocks, and we're going to be looking at the shape where the house itself is going to be. And what we're going to be sure to do is just place 2 layers of the grass blocks, which is what the house is going to be sitting on. That gives it that raised up look. So I'm just going to go here at the corner where we marked out the plot for the house. And I'm just going to bring a strip of the grass blocks straight across all the way to the other side, so just right on top of this concrete. Now I'm going to work this all the way towards the back. What I am going to be sure to do is just leave 10 spaces until we meet up at the corner here. So let's be sure we have 10 extra spaces away from the corner here. And there we go, I actually managed to place this grass exactly where it should be. So we just have 10 extra spaces remaining back here. So now let's go ahead and bring this straight across until we line up with the other side. Right here. And then we'll bring this all the way back up towards the front. What we're going to do is then add another layer right on top of this. And then we'll go ahead and fill in all the space in the middle across the top. So just went through and added the 2 layers of the grass right here where the house itself is going to be sitting. So from front to back it's 60 blocks, and left to right it's 56. I'm back up at the front side. We're going to head on over here towards the right. Make sure to switch to the diorite, and I'm going to go right here on the corner. And I'm going to work my way in by 3 blocks. So we have this first block here. So go at the diagonal angle. We have the second block. And then one more, we have the third block. So we're going to place the diorite there. And now let's go towards the left of that. And have another 2, so we have a total of 3. Now you can see we have 2 spaces of grass remaining here at this right side. And 2 remaining here at the front. Now we're going to go out from the corner of that block. Work your way over towards the left and place another 7. Now we're going to go back in from the corner and have another 3. So this is the start of the foundation at the front right side of the house. Let's go back on over here at the left side where we left off. We're going to go right behind this final block of the diorite. We're going to have another one in this direction. And then you can switch to the smooth quartz block. We'll have one right next to that. We're then going to skip over these 5 spaces until you're then on the 6th space here. We're going to have another block of the smooth quartz. And then back to the diorite. We're going to have one right here. So we just marked out where the first garage door is going to be. So just make sure you do have 5 spaces right here. Let's carry on, back where we left off again. We're going to go out from the corner of this diorite. We're going to have another 2. Then you can switch to the smooth quartz block. We'll have one here. We're going to skip over the 5 spaces again. So we're then going to be on this 6th space. We're going to have another block of the smooth quartz. And then another 2 blocks of the diorite. Now we're going to go back in from the corner of that. Have 1 block of the diorite. Another block of the smooth quartz. We're then going to skip over 4 spaces. So you then want to be on the 5th space. We'll have another block of the quartz. And then back to the diorite. Another 2. So we have 3 garage doors marked out here. So the first one is 5 spaces. We have the second one, which is also 5. And then this third one is 4. We're going to head on back over here. We're going to continue with the diorite. We're going to line up with this final block here, and we're going to start working our way in that direction. So, we're going to place a strip of 9 diorite. Now, let's switch to the smooth quartz block. We'll place one right here. And then we'll go ahead and bring this out by another 3 in this direction. And then we'll go towards the left, have 1. You can then switch to the regular quartz stairs, and we're going to have 5. And now back to the smooth quartz. We'll have 2 here. We'll go right behind that second one, have another 3. And then we'll go towards the left of that final block, switch back to the diorite, and have another 10. So now, this is what we have. This right here is going to be the entrance to the house. And just to be sure, this is looking down at it facing towards the front side. Now let's start marking out the garage doors over here at the left side. So we're going to line up over here where we left off this diorite. We're going to have another block going out like that. You can then switch to the smooth quartz block. We'll place one here. And then we'll skip over these 4 spaces. So on the 5th space, we'll have another block of the smooth quartz. And then back to the diorite, we'll have 2 here. And now we're going to go in from the corner of that. So starting right here, have another block of the diorite. Back to the smooth quartz block, we'll have 1 here. We'll skip over 5. So here on the 6th space, we'll have another quartz block here. And now back to the diorite, another 2 going out like that. So now we have the 2 garage doors marked out there at the left side. So we have a space of 5 here, and a space of 4 here. Back where we left off again, we're going to go here towards the left of this diorite, and bring it over by another 2. And then we'll go out from the corner of that, continue towards the left by another 6. Now we're going to go back in from the corner, and have another 3. So you should then be left with 1 more space here, which is right where the line where the plot size was marked out. Now let's go right behind this diorite. We're going to start working our way towards the back. So starting right here, we're going to place an additional 9. And now we're going to go towards the right from the corner of that, continue working your way towards the back, and we're going to have another 17. Now let's go towards the right of that final block. We're going to have another 5. And then right behind that, working your way towards the back again, we're going to have another 4. And now we're going to go out from the corner of that, have 1 here, and then out from the corner of that again, and we're going to have another 6 going towards the back. And now back in again, we have 1 here, and then back in again, and we have another 3. So let's go ahead and look at what we just did. So this is the shape that we have here at the left side. The space where the garages are, and then the extra bit of the wall that carries on towards the back. And here towards the back, where we left off that final block of the diorite, you just want to make sure you still have 6 more spaces of grass remaining here, until you meet up at the edge of where we left off these layers. Now I'm flipped around facing towards the back side. We're going to go back where we left off. So starting right here, you can work your way over towards the left, and we're going to place another 7. And now let's go towards the back. We're going to have another 2 here. And then you could go in from the corner of that, towards the left of it, and have another 3. So we're left with 1 more space here at the back. Let's carry on towards the left of that diorite again. So starting here, we're going to place another 7. Now let's go from the corner of that. You can switch to the smooth quartz block. We'll have another 2. You can then skip over these 5 spaces. So we're going to be on the 6th space. And we're going to have another 2 here. Now let's go back out from the corner of that. Switch back to the diorite. Continue towards the left and place another 8. So we'll take a look at what we just did. Marked out a bit of the foundation here at the backside. Head on back over here again. We're going to line up where this diorite is. So we're just going to work our way in by another 2. Now go from the corner of that. Have another 3. And then towards the left of that, we're going to work our way in that direction. And we're going to have another 7. Head on over here again. We're going to line up where this final block is. We're going to bring it in by 2. Then we're going to go out from the corner of that, have 1. Go out from the corner again, and have another 6 going towards the front. And now back in again, we'll have 1 here, and then back in, and we're going to have another strip of 5 towards the front. So it's just like that. So it's going to be the same as what we did over there on that side. We'll head on over here again. We're going to go towards the left and have another 6. You can see here we just have another 2 spaces remaining. So let's line up where this block is. We're going to start working our way back up towards the front. So starting here, we're going to have another 15. And now we're going to go out from the corner of that, continue working your way up towards the front, and we're going to have another 11. And now back in from the corner of that, you're going to connect right back to where we started, so it should be another 9. And there we go, just connected right back to the first block that we placed. So now we have the foundation for the house all marked out. So, looking down at it from the front side, this is the shape that you should be left with. So, now that we have the foundation all marked out, let's now start bringing up all of the walls. I'm going to switch to the smooth quartz blocks, and we'll start by marking out where all of the quartz is first. So I'm going to head on over here to the front right side. I'm going to add a layer of the quartz right here on top of the diorite. And now let's go on each side and add an additional 6. And then we'll add another layer right up against that. and then 2 layers across the top. Let's look at the spaces where the garage doors are going to be. So where we already have all the quartz marked out, we're going to be sure to add an additional 5 layers. And then we'll go across the top and connect it together. Let's flip around and do the same thing over here on this side. And now let's go to this side. Here at the front, we're going to add the extra layer of the quartz right here on top of the diorite. And then we'll go up on each side by an additional 6. We'll have the 2 layers across the top, and then the extra layer on each side. Let's go on over here to the middle. So where we already have the quartz marked out, we're going to be sure to add an additional 8 layers right on top of this. So just an additional 8. We already had the first layer, so this should now be 9 in total. And then we'll go across the top in the middle, just straight across, and add another 2 layers. Now let's go to the back side, at the middle again. And we're going to go ahead and add an additional 10 layers on top of these sections here. And then we'll go across the top in the middle and bring it down by another 5. So we went through and marked out where we're going to have all of the quartz here for the first floor. Now what I'm going to do is use a mixed up pattern between the stone bricks, the andesite, and the cobblestone. So everywhere that you see the remaining diorite is where we're going to be placing these blocks. I think it's going to be easiest and quickest just to go ahead and completely fill in all of the walls, and then we'll go back after and cut out where we're going to have all of the windows. So what I'm going to do is just start out with the andesite and completely fill it all in, and then I'll go back and cut out holes and replace it with the other 2 blocks. So, just right on top of the diorite, I'm going to be sure to add an additional 6 layers of the andesite. So 6 in height like that. Let's be sure to also go above all of the quartz, so all the way around you should have 6 layers. So like I said, I'm just going to start with the andesite first, and then I'll go back and add the extra texture with the other blocks. Alright, so I went all the way around where we had all the remaining diorite, and added another 6 layers of andesite right on top of it. So this is what it's going to be looking like. We went across the top above all of the garage door spaces, and went all the way around. And here at the back, where we have these 2 sections on each side of where the quartz is, I'm going to be sure to add 1 more layer right here on this L shape, because this is going to be a little bit taller than the rest of the walls for the first floor. Now let's go through and start marking out where we're going to have all of the windows. I'm going to start here at the front first. I'll go towards this right side. We're going to be sure to leave a layer of the andesite down here at the bottom, and 2 here at the left. And we're going to carve out 8 blocks right here. So 2 blocks wide and 4 blocks in height. We'll then leave a space in the middle, and do another window here. And now let's go on over to this side and do the same thing. So we're going to have 4 windows here at the front. Let's go on over here to the left, at this wall on the side. So we have this section here. We're going to be sure to have 4 spaces on each side. So we're going to have a window right here in the middle, so 2 blocks wide again and 4 blocks in height. And as I said, we're going to have 4 layers on each side. And now we're going to have 2 windows for this space here. It's going to have 3 spaces on each side. So it's going to be a window right here. So 3 spaces remaining. Do the same over here, so 3 spaces, and carve this out. There we go. And now we have a window right here where this wall juts out. So it's going to be right down the middle, leaving the 2 spaces on each side. Now let's flip around towards the back side. So we'll look at this section first. So we're going to leave 3 spaces here at the right, and we'll carve out a window here. And then we're left with the 2 spaces there at the left. And then we have this window here, which is going to be right down the middle. So 3 spaces on each side. Do the same here for this space. And then this space, so the 3 at the left. And now let's look at this part here that juts out, and it'll be the same as the other side. And now we have the final wall here. So we'll look more towards this side, right next to where this wall juts out. So starting here, we're going to be sure to leave the 4 spaces. We're going to have a window right here. So just left with these 4 spaces. And then we have this wall here. We're going to have a 3 block wide window, which will be right down the middle. So leaving the 4 spaces on each side. Make sure this is also still 4 layers in height, so we have a 3x4. And then over here on this wall, we're going to have the 4 spaces again, and then just a 2x4 window. So we went around and marked out where we're going to have all of the windows for the first floor. Now let's be sure to switch to the dark oak stairs and the dark oak trapdoors. And we're going to add the little trim around every single window. Same for the spaces where the quartz is as well. So, just for all of the windows, don't worry about like the garage doors or anything. So we have the dark oak stairs. We're going to have this in each corner. And then the dark oak trapdoors below the stairs on each side. So we have these 2 windows here. And then for the windows that are 3 blocks wide, it'll just be pretty much the same thing, just a stair in each corner. And then in the middle at the top will be a trap door right there. And then the trap doors below each stair on each side. So I'm just going to continue going around and just adding the stairs and the trap doors where all of the windows are going to be. So I went all the way around and just marked out the stairs and trapdoors for every single window. Now let's go around with the stone bricks and the cobblestone to add some extra texture to the walls where the andesite is. So I'm just going to go through and start carving out a bunch of random holes. It'll then be filled in with a mixed up pattern between the cobblestone and the stone bricks. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. If you like how it looks with just the andesite as it is, you could go ahead and just leave it. But I do think it looks a little bit better adding the extra texture with these additional 2 blocks. So I'm going to go around, just carve out a bunch of random holes, and replace it with these other 2 blocks. Alright, so I just went all the way around and added the extra bricks and cobblestone for the texture. And just remember, everywhere is 6 layers in height where like the andesite blocks are. And then here at the back was just 1 block taller, so it's 7 extra layers. It might have been a little bit confusing to tell where everything goes back once you start deleting a bunch of blocks. So you can see just one additional layer taller than all of the windows. And then here at these two sections at the back is 2 additional. So this is what it's looking like. Just some extra texture along all of these walls. We're gonna head back on up towards the front. And how about we do the garage doors next? So for the garage doors, we're gonna be using the black stained glass panes, the dark oak stairs, the dark oak planks, and the tripwire hooks. What I am going to do is just place a couple temporary blocks behind some of the quartz. So I'll just use any block, and I'm just going to have 2 blocks like that right behind the quartz on each side. I'll do it for this doorway here as well. We don't have to worry about it for this one, but for this one over here, we are also going to do it. It'll just make it easier when we start placing the stairs for the garage doors. So let's head on back over here to this side. We'll start with the dark oak stairs. And now you can see, we're just going to place it right up against those temporary blocks, just makes it a lot easier. We'll do the same on this side. And then we'll go ahead and connect them together, so we'll have it just facing up here at the bottom and upside down at the top. So they all connect together like that. We'll then have some dark oak planks here down the middle, and then a layer going across the top, and then we'll have another 2 on each side, and then another layer across the top here. These 3 remaining spaces is going to be the black stained glass panes, and then we have the tripwire hook down here at the bottom. We're going to do the same exact design here for this garage door. So we have the dark oak stairs on each side, so facing up and upside down, and that will curve right into it. The 2 blocks going up down the middle, the extra layer right on top of that, 2 blocks on each side, and the layer across the top, and then the black stained glass panes, and the tripwire hook. Now for this garage door, it's going to be a little bit different. So we have the dark oak planks. We'll have a layer down here at the bottom, and then 2 going up on each side. We'll then switch to the dark oak stairs. We'll have 2 facing up here at the bottom, and another 2 upside down right above that. Switch back to the dark oak planks. We'll have 2 more going up on each side, and 2 across the top. And then black stained glass panes here for the remaining 2 spaces, and 2 tripwire hooks at the bottom. We're going to flip around, do the same thing here for this door. So we have the layer of the planks at the bottom, and we'll just go all the way up to the top with the layer on each side. We'll do the layer across the top as well, and then we just have the dark oak stairs facing up and upside down. It's the black stained glass panes, and the 2 tripwire hooks. And now we have the final door here. So back to the dark oak stairs, we're going to have these facing up and upside down on each side, and then we'll curve right into that. 2 layers of the dark oak planks here at the bottom, another layer going across the top, 2 more going up on each side, and across the top again. And then we have the black stained glass panes, and the tripwire hook. So we marked out all of the garage doors, so a total of 5. And now we are going to be sure to add a little arch in each corner where the quartz is. So we'll start with the smooth quartz stairs, and we'll just have one of these upside down in each corner. So that's the start right there. Now let's grab the iron trap door, the lever, the chain, and the lantern. So we'll start with the iron trap door. We'll have this on each side here at the top, and then right below all of the stairs. And then we'll switch to the lever. I have this on the same layer as these trap doors, and then we'll flip it down. So it flips down the trap door, and then right below the levers, we're going to be sure to add a chain. So we're going to crouch and place this right below it. And then we'll have a lantern right below that. And we're going to be doing the same exact thing for all of the other garage doors. And then for this space, we'll just have each trapdoor just side by side like that. So we just went through and added the final touches for all of the garage doors. So this is what it's going to be looking like. Now let's continue on and add the other arches that we're going to have here for this entrance and for the back door as well. So let's switch back to the smooth quartz stairs. What you could do is actually get rid of the regular quartz stairs. We're not going to be using those anymore, so you don't want to accidentally use those. So we have the smooth quartz stairs, and then we still have the iron trap doors. We're going to need the lever again, so I'll just swap that out. So there we go. We have the lever, iron trap door, smooth quartz stairs, the chain, and the lantern. So I'll start here at the front. We'll have a smooth quartz stair in each corner. And then the iron trap door right next to that at the top. And then below each stair. We could then have the lever right next to that. We'll point it down. And then we'll crouch and have a chain right below the lever. And then the lantern below that. So that's going to be it here for the front. We'll head on towards the back, and we're just going to be doing the same exact thing. So now here's the backside. Now let's go through and start adding the black stained glass paints for all of the windows. So what I am going to be sure to do is actually grab some white concrete, because the interior walls are pretty much going to be entirely white concrete all throughout the house. So I'm going to go around the edge of all of the windows on the inside and just add an extra layer of white concrete. So it'll pretty much be like a little head start to the interior walls. I didn't want to add just some random temporary block that's just going to be replaced later on, so I figured we'd go ahead and have a little bit of a head start just by using the white concrete right off the bat. So now that we went all the way around and added that layer of the white concrete around the edge of all of the windows, we're now going to go on that same layer with the black stained glass paints and fill in all of the windows. So I just went through and added the black stained glass paints for all of the windows. Now, here at the front, I am going to be sure to add some leaves right below the windows here on each side. So let's grab the jungle leaves is what I'm going to be using. You can use whichever you want. And then I have the dark oak trapdoors and the dark oak signs. So below all of the windows, just here at the front, I'm going to add the leaves like this. And then I'll have the dark oak trapdoors below that. And then I have the dark oak signs, which I'm going to have on the sides and at the front. We just can't have it for the inner sides right here. So we have this side complete. We'll head on over here and do the same thing. So there we go. We have the bushes here at the front side. Now let's switch back to the smooth quartz blocks, and we're going to go around and add an extra layer on top of most of these walls. So I'm going to be starting here at the front. So I'll just go right over here to this side first. And I'm just going to add a layer right on top of all of these walls here. So above all of the garages, head on over to this side and wrap it all the way around. And I'll bring it right into here. And this is where it's going to stop. So we just have that front wall there and then around where the garage space is. We'll head on over to this side and we're going to be doing the same thing. So we'll start over here. and just wrap this all the way around, right above all of the garage space. And we'll bring it right into here. And now let's go towards the back. We have these spaces here that we raised up by an additional layer. So let's go ahead and add another layer right on top of that space. And then we're going to add a second layer as well. So do the same here on this side. So we have the back side all marked out. Now we're going to go back up to the front, and we're going to add a second layer on top of all of this space as well. Just make sure to skip over this space here that juts out, as well as this space. But everywhere else, we're going to add a second layer. Alright, so just 2 layers of quartz here at the front space, and then we have the 2 layers there at that back space, and then remember here at the front, this is just going to be 1 block lower for that section, and then 1 block lower over here. So this is what it's going to be looking like so far. And now there's going to be one final thing we're going to do here for part 1, and that is going to be the front door and back door. So I'm going to start here at the front side. So we're going to be using the quartz bricks, the smooth quartz blocks. Then we have the lever, the chain, the lantern, the iron trap door, the smooth quartz stairs, the black stained glass panes, and the dark oak fences. So we'll start with the quartz bricks. And I'm just going to add 5 layers going in. So just like that, so it is 7 spaces wide, and then 5 blocks going in. So this is going to be the front porch. Now let's switch to the smooth quartz blocks, and we'll look over here at this right side first. We're going to be lined up here at the 4th space, leaving 1 space remaining. And I'm going to bring this up by 8. So to the same height as this. I'll flip around and do the same thing over here. And then we'll go across the top and just add 3 layers. Like that, so 3 layers. And then in each corner, we're going to be sure to add the upside down smooth quartz stair. We then have the iron trap door at the top and below the stairs. And then the lever pointing down right next to that. The chain right below the lever. And then the lantern. And now let's mark out where the actual door is going to be. So I am going to be sure to switch back to the white concrete. And I'm going to go from the inside and add an extra layer around the edge of the door. It'll then make it easier to place the black stained glass panes. So just an extra layer of white concrete going around like that. And then we have the black stained glass panes. So I'm going to have a layer going up on each side. And then we'll have it across the top. And now we're going to go in on each side by another layer. But we're going to be sure to curve out these 2 layers here at the top and the layer at the bottom. This space here is going to be a dark oak fence for a handle. We'll do the same over here on this side. Just like that. So this is going to be the front door. Now we'll head on to the back, and we're going to be doing the same thing. So we'll switch to the white concrete. We're going to start here on the second layer, and just add this extra layer all the way around. So this layer here is where the floors are going to be, so we're not going to be worrying about adding anything here. So we're going to start here at this second layer, and we just have the black stained glass panes going all the way around. I'll go on the outside, add an extra layer going in. And they'll curve out these 2 here towards the top, the space at the bottom, and then the dark oak fence for the handle. And now that was just the final thing I wanted to do here for part 1. So I think we definitely got a lot done here for the first video. Alright guys, I'm gonna leave it at that here for part 1 for this tutorial on how to build this mansion. If this did help you, be sure to please leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in part 2.